I can't quite believe it's the end of the year tag time, but it is. So the end of the year tag is a bit of a staple here on BookTube, and I think this is the best time to do it, sort of about 3 months before the end of the year, because it still gives you time. Gives you time to do the things that you haven't done. This is an original tag created by Ariel Bissett. I will leave her channel details linked below, and let's just get into the questions, shall we? So the first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish before the end of the year? Well, need is a strong word, isn't it? That you would have a preference to finish before the end of the year. Yes, there are. Actually, there's only one really standout one, and that is The Count of Monte Cristo that I'm reading by Alexander Dumas. This started out as a buddy read between me, Fraser Simons and Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. But Fraser has actually finished it on schedule, as planned. Alice and I have not. So I've still got, at the time of filming, about 500 pages left of this book. I'm about 60% of the way through. It's a chunker. It's a chunky boy. I would really like to finish it before the end of the year. I don't want to do what we would call a Don Quixote. So if you haven't seen Alice's channel before, she took 5 years to read Don Quixote. It's like exaggeration, but she took a long time. She took a long time to read it, and I don't want to, infringe upon her record. So, so I would really like to finish Monte Cristo before the end of the year. I do have several other books on the go, but they're just normal sized books that I'm sure I will finish in due course. I can't see any of them running really that much longer. Question number 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition you into the end of the year? I'm not really a seasonal reader per se. I just kind of go with the flow. But it is Victober next month, and sort of dark classics scream autumn to me. So I think probably the one that stands out most as an autumnal read would be The Mayor of Casterbridge by Thomas Hardy, which is the group read for Victober next month. And I think that fits the bill. Is there a new release that you're still waiting on? There is. So that would be Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, which is due out in the UK on the 18th of October. I'll be honest, I don't know what it's about, but I read the Poisonwood Bible recently and adored it. So I really want to pick up her new release when it comes out in a few weeks. And and it's pretty. So the next question, 3 books that you would like to finish before the end of the year. I have more than 3. I'm just going to put that right out there. So at the end of last year, I put together about 4,000 lists of books I wanted to read. So mainly they were books from my big scratch poster of 100 books everyone should read, and like a priority list of books that I wanted to get to. There's quite a few left. So we've got Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman, which is the first in like a YA series. Wild Swans, which is a non-fiction about 3 women in China. Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes, which I think is sci-fi, something to do with mouse, been supposed to be really sad. Aren't my descriptions of these books the best? The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. It's been on my list for so long. Really sad, set in Afghanistan, about like children, like sad things with children. Yeah, definitely sounds like my kind of book. Incendiary by Chris Cleave, which is like the longest standing book on my shelf, and I've had it on my list to get off my shelf for the last 2 years. It's still there. Really need to get to that. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. The same. It's been on my Kindle forever. I need to get to it. It keeps going on TBRs and doesn't get read. So it's, I've got 3 months now. Get it read. And the last one is Intimations by Zadie Smith, which is an essay collection, super short. So I should be able to at least get to that one. But yeah, those are all the sort of priority reads that I have left. I did also say I had some priority series. However, that is going so abysmally bad that we're not even going to discuss it. is there a book that could still shock you and be the best book of the year? Of course, any book that I pick up could be my best of the year. I have read so many good books this year. I would expect the last 3 months to be the same. But the biggie is the one that has just arrived today. So excited. And that is Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes. Look how pretty it is. It's so pretty. And it's signed. Oh, and it's so green. I love green. And this is Medusa's story. You can't see that very well because she signed it in green. I can see it, which is the most important thing. So that one definitely has potential to be a best of the year. Also, if I get to it, The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell could definitely be best of the year. There are several on my shelves. The question is, which ones will I get to? Which ones will I get to? But yeah, there's loads. And the final question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2023? Is that right? Are we in 2022? I think we are. So yes-ish. Yeah. I have one main project that I think I'm going to do next year, and I will do my scratch listy thing again, so I'll do that in December. I am going to try and rein in the goals a little bit, I think, this year, just to see where my reading takes me, really. But yeah, not really. I will probably go in for the BookTube prize again, but I will only do fiction next year just to keep it down a bit. Of course, I will do the women's prize. Undecided whether I will do the Booker next year or not. I say that now, but I know I'll get sucked into the hype. But the Booker definitely isn't as good for me as the women's prize. I definitely prefer more books on the women's prize list than the Booker prize, hands down. But I would like to do another prize, maybe one of the non-fiction ones, or possibly like the Walter Scott prize for historical fiction, something like that, where I read the whole shortlist or selected long list or whatever. But I really like doing that, so I will do that again next year. And basically what I'm doing right now is brainstorming in front of the camera, so I'm going to stop right now, and I will give it some thought. But yes, there are some plans marinating in my brain. And that's it folks, that is all the questions. So yeah, what I want to know is, are there any books that you really want to get to before the end of the year that you haven't got to yet, that you've been saying, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to read that, you haven't read it yet? I want to know what that book is. Leave it below. I will leave my priority lists video here, and I'll see you all very soon with another one. Bye guys.